What's up? My name is Niki, and I have a story that I don't even know if anyone will ever believe. A few years ago, I was working in a cafe down by the beach. It's a cushy enough job with nice people, and I get the chance to look at the beautiful surfer boys wash off after surfing. That doesn't suck. But then, one day, one of these surfer guys comes in. He was just as hunky as the other surfer boys, but there was something different about him. Well, when I say different, I should just say that he was talking to me. So that made him incredibly different from the others. When I brought him his food and coffee, he asked me if I was single. Is it that obvious? Was all I could reply. He asked me if I wanted to go out with him that night. I tried not to be too eager and just play it cool, but I'm pretty sure I was on the borderline of just yelling out, "Sure, can we also get married right now?" Way to play it cool, Niki. I met him in the front of the cafe later that night, and he took me on a date. We went to an amusement park, rode all the rides, ate some delicious artery-clogging foods, and he even won me a teddy bear. We talked about everything. Family, friends, school, hobbies, even what we wanted in the future. Then, when we were riding the Ferris wheel and we got to the peak looking at the amazing view, he leaned over and kissed me. I was on cloud 9. Our romance went from a spark to a blaze very quickly. Within months, we were already head over heels in love, talking about getting married one day. We even rented a small little apartment close to the beach so that I could walk to work. My romantic dreams had come true. There was one little problem, though. While we talked about everything, the one thing I never got any information about was what he did for work. Anytime I'd ask him about it, he just said it was too boring. The only thing that I knew was that he worked nights. The other thing that was strange was I know when I come home from work, I just want to relax and chill out. He comes home from work energized, and a lot of the time when he comes home, we have sex as soon as he gets home. I shouldn't complain, but it's just weird. So one night, I decided to follow him. There's a big part of me that wished I hadn't. Mostly the part that saw what he was doing. I gave him a 5-minute head start that night, but trailed him really closely. I thought he worked in the city, but pretty soon we were in this shady area. He went to an office building, and that's when I thought I'd found his office, but that was not the case. Moments later, I heard a scream and a scuffle from the alley next to the building. I went to have a look, and that's when I saw my boyfriend leaning over another man, and my boyfriend had a bloody knife in his hand. I could see it was my boyfriend, but his face was like a rabid animal. He stabbed the man over and over and over again. I ran. I got home and I broke down sobbing. Was my boyfriend a serial killer? Was he like a hitman or something? I felt sick to my stomach and ran to the bathroom to throw up. I wish it was because of how upset I was. But the next morning, I was still sick. I was trying to be calm around my boyfriend and pretend everything was okay. He joked that I might have morning sickness, but I wasn't laughing. He went to bed and I ran to the drugstore to get a pregnancy test. I didn't even wait to get home to do it. I did it in the bathroom of a McDonald's. My dream world was crashing down around me. And on top of it all, I was pregnant. I went to work and I don't remember much. I was in a daze. I told my boss that I wasn't feeling well and he sent me home. When I got there, my boyfriend wasn't home. He left a note saying he had to go to work early and wouldn't be back till late. We all know what that means. I needed answers, so I started to dig through his things and found some really strange stuff. In the back of his closet, there was a small box, and inside there was a bunch of random stuff, like rings, ticket stubs, a few photos, and they all had little blood spots on them. Were these his trophies? Do I need to go to the cops? Fate would answer that one for me because while I was thinking about it, a breaking news bulletin came over the news. There had been a triple murder in the city, a couple and their son, but the killer was in custody. Have you put the pieces together yet? Was it Professor Plum in the library with a candlestick? Or was it my boyfriend on TV in handcuffs? I called the cops right away and told them what I'd found. They came over and interviewed me and took all the stuff. My boyfriend was going away for a long time, and here I was in an apartment full of a killer's things and his baby. I couldn't stay there. I called my parents and told them everything. They came and got me, and I moved back in with them. So here we are now. I'm still living with my parents. They're helping me raise my little boy. He's 3 now, and he's the light of my life. My now ex-boyfriend was convicted for a bunch of murders, and he's serving a life sentence. He's never going to get out. I don't think it's right for him or my son to miss out on being with each other. So I'd actually take my son to go visit him in prison. I'm scared of what will happen if he ever gets out. He says that he doesn't blame me for calling the cops, but I'm the reason they found out about more of the murders than he was arrested for. I'm trying not to worry about it, but what if it's genetic? And what if my son one day becomes a killer? What would you do? If you want to ask something, leave your comments below. We would be more than happy to animate your stories.